Trim up the tree with Buzzle Buzz and Blipper Bloofs and Wuzzle Wuzz. Trim up your uncle and your aunt with yards of Whoop-on Flash.
Every good match goon down in Goonville liked the Royal Rumble a lot, but the Grinch, who lived just north of Goonville, did not. What's going on, YouTube? Prince GMO back here with another new video. So the Royal Rumble has come and gone. For live reactions, you can check that out, me, Club Atlantis, on the channel's link in the description box. Check out Nate, check out Unk. They got the live reactions and everything, and I'm being trolled consistently, mind you, for a certain live reaction I had for the Women's Royal Rumble. They've been trolling me.
Oh, BelAir.
Y'all could have
because you got you got the next generation, two people from the next generation in the ring.
Yeah.
You don't have the old guard up in there.
Rhea's going for the riptide. Oh, counter.
Oh no. Don't hurt yourself, girl. Don't hurt yourself. She can't do it.
Y'all just had to listen to the good match. Oh my God!
She won! Yes,
you go, girl! You go! I can't hate on that. She impressed me all day night.
Guys, can I bring up something?
Yeah.
So this is Prince Gmo. Let's talk about why I had the reaction I had. Let me ask this question to y'all. If Matt Riddle would have won the Men's Royal Rumble, what would people have said? Let's pause. Alright. If Matt Riddle won, this is what people would have said. Oh man, he just got there, man. He just got to the main roster, man. What has he done on the main roster? Does anyone know who this guy is, man? It's not NXT. He on the main roster. He hasn't won anything. Has he even won a mid-card title? Has he even been in a storyline people care about? What has Matt Riddle done, man? Like, why would you pick Matt Riddle, man? Well, you know, I mean, I know the matches are gonna be good, but don't nobody care, man. What about that would have been the talk when it pertains if Matt Riddle would have won the Men's Royal Rumble. Now, take those same talking points, and that's my stance on Bianca BelAir winning. I'm not against her as a talent. The woman has the talent up the yin-yang. You need to cut a promo, she can do it. You need to do something uber athletic that we've never seen before, she can do that. Need a good segment, she can do it. You need anything you need from a performer, she doesn't just do, she does it well. So I'm not knocking her as a talent. What I am knocking is the internet audience that campaigned for this, that said it's okay to plug Bianca into this paradigm that we all know. This is my theory on this Bianca mania when it comes to a lot of fans. Fans have a guilty conscience. They feel cheated out of Bianca getting her big moment in NXT, and now they want to shotgun her to it.
Nothing just happens, it's all part of a plan. I was supposed to die in the field with honor. That was my destiny, and you cheated me out of it.
The fact of the matter is, last year, Charlotte won the Rumble. She decides to go down there. The 1-2% of fans said that is a bad idea. But you had the internet crowd, oh man, good matches, good matches, good matches. They didn't think about how Charlotte going down there would disrupt the synergy and the geometry of that roster. Because you can only have so much going on for so many people at one time. They didn't think about, well, if we plug Charlotte in there, it's gonna ruin what Rhea and Bianca were doing. So I hope fans were jumping up and down. I hope they were going crazy watching the Royal Rumble, the showdown between Bianca and Rhea Ripley, because y'all could have had that a year ago. Charlotte fucked up NXT the way 50 Cent fucked up Ja Rule, bruh. Now, look, people could talk about the matches. We do the good matches. Y'all love the good matches. Yeah, that's what y'all like, but wrestling's about more than just in-ring ability and matches, y'all. Like, damn, Lance Storm is on nobody's Mount Rushmore. Let's be fucking serious, man. Easy to just blame management, but all they did was give y'all what y'all wanted. Bianca was what y'all wanted in this spot. They gave y'all Bianca. Last year, Shayna Baszler was who y'all wanted in that spot, and they gave y'all Shayna before she was ready. They teased Charlotte going down to fight Io and Rhea and everybody, and y'all wanted that. They gave y'all what y'all want. And then when it fails, y'all gotta blame management for giving y'all what y'all demand and beg for. But when it goes correct, y'all want all the glory, like y'all do with Daniel Bryan and the Yes Movement. Fans have an opportunity to affect. We don't have ultimate control over shit, but we affect shit. And, you know, campaigning for certain stuff. No one thinks about the geometry of a roster when it pertains to the women. Well, I ain't gonna say no one. Majority of fans don't think of that. There's that small percentage of fans who do look at that and go, well, if you make this person champion, it's gonna affect this. Oh, you know what? If they push this person, it's gonna fuck this up over here. I mean, people don't think like that typically, because thinking is so hard. Reading is hard, thinking is hard, and actually working is hard. When you ask people to do all three, they don't want to do it. There's only a small percentage of people who will do all three. But yeah, man, it just feels like a lot of internet fans who have a guilty conscience. Y'all campaigned so hard for Charlotte to go down there, and it ruined y'all finally getting this moment of Bianca finally putting her crown on. Y'all ruined that. Y'all have a guilty conscience about that. So y'all trying to make up for it this year with this whole let's jump up and down and cheer Bianca like we should have did a year ago. That's what it feels like to me. That's just my theory. So I'm calling her Zion Bianca. Shades of Zion Williamson in the NBA. Great player, all the talent in the world to dominate at the top level. However, when he first came in there, his first year, everyone said, oh, he gonna run rough shot. He gonna be dunking on everybody. He gonna shit on everybody, man. Can't nobody stop Zion. And Zion Bianca got everybody hypnotized, man. Everybody hypnotized. When it's a conversation regarding the men's roster, they tend to think long term. When you bring in Goldberg or when Edge wins the Royal Rumble, people can look at how 6 months down the line, it's not gonna help no one that happened. Or Goldberg beat the Fiend. People can look at how, oh well, I can see there it's to get Roman cheered, and you know, people can think long term when it pertains to the men, but when it pertains to the women, it's like there's so much tribalism. Every guy wants, well, woman too. Every fan, let me do that. Every fan wants to see the girl they've supported from the cradle to the grave get to the top. They don't think about how this person being at the top is going to affect the entire roster. You know, I said this before in our little private chats in Atlantis, but there's only, I want to say 1 or 2% of fans who take into consideration the geometry of a roster. Now, when it pertains to the men, it's easier to explain this with a quick analogy. What's the difference between having a roster with Hulk Hogan as your champion and having to build other stars around that, from having Ric Flair as your champion and having to build a roster around that? There's a lot of differences between that. The champion at the top affects the geometry of a roster. Easy for people to wrap their minds around these two concepts. But when people talk about, oh well, I want Sasha to be champion. How does Sasha affect her? I don't care, man. I just want her to have a long reign finally, longer than 30 days. Well, who's gonna take the L's for her? I don't care, man. No one thinks about that. I want Alexa Bliss to be the champion. Well, who can Alexa believably fight and beat for a sustainable 3 months? I don't care. I just want Alexa to be champion. Like, that's how fans are when it comes to the women, because there's so much tribalism with fans. They just put these blinders on. They have this tunnel vision. There's a paradigm when it comes to these type of things. When you have a guy or you have a girl who's not yet solidified as the man, and you put a title on them, there's 1, 2, 3 ways you can go. You have the Randy Orton way. Remember Randy Orton? He won the title against Benoit, and people will look now, oh, he wasn't ready, he wasn't ready, he wasn't ready. Yeah, you'll say that now, but like everyone else, I was jumping up and down. I was happy to see it. I was happy to see him beef with Evolution. I was happy to see that. However, what happened? He wasn't ready. He couldn't do the things as a performer that Triple H can do. So what did they do? He held it for a month, maybe 2, maybe 3 at the most. No, he lost it at the next pay-per-view, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But he didn't have it that long, and it just went right back to Triple H. And the only way for him to get his momentum back was to go to a whole different damn show. Then there's the other way. Charlotte Flair. She came up to the main roster, what was it, 2014, 15, something like that? She wasn't yet established in the eyes of the main roster. She beat Nikki Bella, and the only way for, the product to convince you that, hey, this chick's the real deal is she can't lose clean, and she has to win all the time. Fast forward all these years later, and look at where she is now. I'm not talking about backstage. All y'all people talking about backstage. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the eyes of the fans. She is hated. She's looked at as someone who buries everybody. But they had no choice. They shotgunned her into a position that she was not ready for, that the audience was not ready for, definitely. No one had any stock or any equity in this chick, and you're making her the damn champion. Oh, well, you got to take her seriously. Push, 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 push. See, she wins. She wins all the time. She wins all the time. And then look at what we got. That's the other one. And then there's this last one. The most recent example of the paradigm. Person gets a WrestleMania match against the champ. Person loses. And then they just kind of crash and burn to obscurity. The Shayna Baszler example. But majority of fans, all they care about is their good match. I'm going to have a good match at Mania. And then once the Mania match is done, 2 months later, when that talent doesn't have any momentum or can't do shit, they don't ask, well, why? Why doesn't that person have any momentum? Oh, because they didn't get a proper build on the roster. First year on the main roster. I think it's too soon, man. Even Brock Lesnar, when he first got there, they legit built him up with the King of the Ring tournament, fighting RVD, the Hardys, and all these people before that. He had these noteworthy moments before he won anything. And that's all I got, y'all. What do y'all think? A lot of people think I'm being too harsh. I hope I'm wrong about management. We're all right about Bianca. We're right about the talent. We're right about everything she does. She does very fucking well. I think it's too soon. I think they should wait a year. I think SummerSlam at the earliest should have been the time she got the title, or a crack at it at least, and then maybe let her win the Rumble next year. And this year should have been either Lacey or Bayley. That's what I fucking think. But what do y'all think? Am I being too harsh? Am I being mean to Bianca? Zion Bianca, as I'm gonna start calling her.
It ends.